Hi, I'm Mary. This is Dreamy Design Studio video, and this video is on Overdyeing with Indigo. And by that I mean we're going to take your beautifully colored yarns from previous groups and we're going to dip them in indigo, and you're going to see what wonderful new colors you get. So let's get started. Let's take a look at the vat first. Now this is a vat I've been using for the last several days, so I have balanced it several times. I just took the temperature, which is fine, it's at about 100 degrees. I just scraped this film to the side, and I just checked my pH. So everything is looking pretty good. Okay? All right, so before we begin though to dip, let me show you what I've been doing for the last 2 days. Remember these wool flannel squares from the last 2 classes? Well, now is the time to take half of them and dip them in the blues. These 4 are from our first group. These were the various yellows. I don't remember exactly which plant this was. To tell you the truth, I have to check my notes. But this was Weld, that brilliant neon yellow. This was Osage orange, and this was safflower. And then these 2 squares are from the second group, our last group. This is cochineal first bath, cochineal second bath, and because it's paler pink to begin with, this would have been bright red, this pale pink. Notice more blue, okay? I want to point out the importance though of figuring out how long to actually dip your colors. It's really easy for indigo to mask the color underneath it, so be careful. These 3 were dipped for 5 minutes. I got a little nervous when I saw that. Okay, it's pretty dark. I love it, but I don't want it to get any darker. So I backed off and did these for 3 minutes. And you'll see how much more of the yellow underneath comes through. I like those, yeah. 5 minutes, 3 minutes. Here's some Weld, some Tussa silk. Weld yellow, dipped. Very pretty, and there's just some Tussa silk, honey Tussa, on with just the indigo, no color underneath it, just the natural honey. Here is Targi, which is a wool blend, excuse me, not a wool blend, a wool breed. That would be second bath cochineal. And this one I wanted to make sure you saw, because if you were part of the second group, you looked at a video on post baths, on modifiers after dyeing. One was iron and one was an ammonia post bath. I used this yarn. It's a silk wool yarn, very, very pretty. I had dipped it in cochineal, I had a red, and then I dipped a portion of it in the ammonia bath, and I dipped another portion of it in the iron post bath. But I wasn't really pleased with it the way it was, so what I did this time was I dipped a portion of it, and here it is, here's the portion, in indigo. Now when this came out yesterday morning, it was navy blue. When I washed it this morning, it came out to this beautiful purple. So I think I have a really nice yarn that when I open it up and reel it off, it's going to be a lovely, lovely 8 ounces of yarn. So that's some of the things you can anticipate doing when you get to your own dipping. But come on back here and let's do some dipping together. Okay, these are from the first, oh, if I can get them out. These are from our first group, the yellow group. So notice all the different yellows. We have onion skins, we have Osage orange, we have safflower, we have chamomile, which I don't believe I demonstrated in the group. We have darker colors, which would be first baths. We have lighter colors, which are probably all second baths. I want to dip both, but I don't want to just put them all in together and let them sit for the same amount of time, because while it may color these beautifully, the dark blue, too much time on these will just simply cover them up. So I have to be careful in what I do. You would think that I'd put them in both together and then say pull this one out first and leave this one in longer. But if I do that, I'm going to drip, okay? So the more often you take fiber out of the vat, the more often you drip water back into the vat and thus oxygen. So we don't want to do it that way. We want to do it in reverse. We want to put one in the one I want the darkest, and then the second one in, and then take them both out at the same time. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to start with this one. I will use this because for this little amount of yarn, it works perfectly, okay? So if you want to come over here, we'll start to demonstrate dipping again. I'm going to put these guys in here. I think they're about 5 colors or so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colors. And I'm going to turn my timer on. It's like a little stopwatch, okay? And I am going to just slowly take it down. I don't do it too quickly because I don't want a lot of bubbles to come rushing out. And here we are. And I'm going to just kind of lean it here. It's on top of the sediment. And there we go. Okay. So this is now at 30 seconds. I'm thinking I'm going to keep this for another minute, maybe, minute and a half, before I put in the second round. So while we're waiting, let me just show you a couple of things. Number one, I do use these. They're called Beadles. That's the brand name, B-E-A-D-L-E-S. They can be used and reused again, but look, they're beautiful for holding on. Sort of beautiful. Holding on, there we go. Holding on to fibers. Yarns, that is. Not so much other forms of fiber, but I recommend them. And the other thing I want to say while we're waiting, and I'm looking, it's about an hour, a minute and 20 seconds now. The other thing I want to say is that when you use a vat that has already been used for overdyeing, you're going to already have color in that vat because it drips off. The original color, the first color, drips off into the vat. It does affect the color of the vat. Don't lose your nerve when you're balancing. Just take that into consideration, okay? Let the vat completely settle. So you try to get that color, that excess color down here before you try to read your vat. So let's see. We're 2 minutes now, actually, a little longer than I wanted to be. But now let's put this one in. And we're just going to put it right on top of it. These are the paler colors that are pretty unto themselves, but I think they're going to be beautiful when we pull them out and see what we get here. All right, and it's always a surprise. I have to remain open-minded about all of this because if I'm expecting a particular color, I will never get it. All right, so we're at 2:25 now. While we're waiting for these two, let me show you something else I did today. Those were from the first group, the yellows. These are from the first group, second group, the reds and the oranges. So we have cochineal in here with and without tartaric acid. We have a second bath, we have madder, we have first bath madder, second bath madder. This is probably the only one you don't have, and that's because that's madder, second bath madder with a little bit of cochineal extract put in, and I didn't show you how to do that. So these are the originals. All right, now I dipped these, they're pairs anyway, this morning, and look what we have. Can you believe it? Now these are still drying. These have not been washed or anything. These are still drying, but look at what we have. And I'll tell you, like I said, I never can quite anticipate what I'm going to get. There was one color in here that surprised the heck out of me. This here, cochineal red with the indigo. This here, I think, I could be wrong. We have this here. All right. Whoops, I'm getting to the color that just surprises the heck out of me. These two colors, the brown, well, I'm making a mess here, but these are your matters. Now what surprises me is this color. This is almost a green. Look at that. And I can't figure out. I don't know what color it is. I'm going to have to really go back and check my notes. I don't know. It just is amazing to me. But look at the array. Aren't they beautiful? Now let's go and take a look at what we have with this. We now have 4 minutes, 26 seconds, and I think I'm going to take these guys out. Whoa, ho, ho, ho. All right, so now I'm pulling them out at the same time. I'm very gently doing this because I don't want water to come back into my vat. And Roger, if you want to come here, I'm going to show them something. This is often what I do. I take something like this, and I don't know if you can get in or not to take a look at this, but I just gently get these in here. And then if there's any extra, I pour it out so close to the surface that I'm leaving virtually no air bubbles. And then, you can already see what's happening here. Isn't it gorgeous? I put them in to the water, let them aerate. Okay, I'm deliberately putting oxygen, or getting them oxygenated so that the indigo discs fix to the fiber. And let's see what we have. Doctor. Here, I'll tell you what, while these are right there, I'm going to just kind of move these over. I don't have a tray on the ground. That is one thing I normally have to catch the drops. But for our purposes right now, no tray. Ha ha ha. Okay. The darker ones, the lighter ones. Pretty amazing, yes? So, there you have it for this video. Color, 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 color. I love it. I think we're good. Definitely ask me questions in the group if you have them. I know you may well have them. And next video, we're going to look at different vats. This has been the fructose vat consistently. We're going to look at different vats, and we're also going to start to think about shibori. So get your cottons out and get your silks out. Okay, so that's fabric, I mean, so that we can do some shibori. Okay, see you soon.